Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to Module 6 Creative Expression for Mental Well-being. Today we are commencing the third lecture of this series and we will explain about different kind of writings and how it helps in emotional clarity and emotional well-being. So come to the topic. It is writing as a tool for emotional clarity. Here we will discuss about how writing helps in our emotional regulation, emotional expression and different kind of other psychological issues. There are different type of writings which help us in our emotional well-being. So we will discuss about all these in a detailed manner. Now the overview of our slide is how writing works as a tool for emotional clarity, journaling, what is journaling and how it helps in self-reflection and emotional release, creative writing to explore thoughts and feelings, the psychological benefits of gratitude and narrative journaling. So in the upcoming slides, we will discuss about all these in a detailed manner and we will tell you how different kind of writing modalities help in different domains in our emotional and psychological regulation. So here we see in the introduction, emotional clarity is a foundation skill for mental health. It is the ability to identify, understand and label one's emotional states accurately. Writing is a non-judgmental space for emotional release. It encourages you to communicate your thoughts, emotions and experiences in a free-floating and unedited manner. We will explore all four types of writing here. So I'll tell you about the emotional clarity first. What is emotional clarity? So the thing is, it is the ability and a very significant skill to understand what you are feeling, what particular emotion you are experiencing at that particular time. So this is what we call emotional clarity. It has been found that people who are having very high level of emotional clarity, their decision making and coping is much better than other people. So journaling. What is journaling? Basically, journaling is the practice of writing thoughts, feelings and your own experiences regularly to reflect and process internal states. It can be free writing or it can be prompt based. So first I'll explain you in a simple terms what journaling is. So I am giving you an analogy. Think your journaling as a emotional gym. So what happens? It's a space where you go and you train your mind to observe your feelings without reacting in impulsive manner. In that way you are training how to process these emotions in a very regularized manner. By doing regular practice, you become more focused and more attentive in doing this practice. So this is what journaling is. As explained, it is of two types, prompt based and free will, right? By making thoughts visible on paper, journaling lets us understand and challenge them. Because when you write something, it gives the structure to what emotional chaos you are going through. It gives that a structure and then it is easier to identify those emotions and feelings in a much better and elaborative manner. So benefits of journaling. The first benefit is emotional release. So basically journaling help you in ventilation of your emotions and conflict resolutions. It also increases mindfulness and self-awareness about your emotions and mental patterns. It reduces your anxiety level, depression and other mood disorders. It helps processing grief and trauma. So there is a landmark study which is done by Pennybaker and BL in 1986 in which he shown that candidates who are doing expressive writing for 15 minutes for over 4 days, 5 days, they have seen that these candidates are better in the immunity system, they have lesser doctor's visit and their mental health is also much better than those candidates who are not doing the same practice. There are furthermore research findings which are supporting the similar data. One is by Pennybaker's in 1999, second is by University of Auckland and the third one is other replication studies across multiple populations which shows that improved immune function, mental health and reduced healthcare visits. Now I'll explore two very common and very popular journaling exercises which can help you to regularize your emotional state and how to work on it, right? So very first is emotional dump. The instructions are you start writing non-stop for 10 to 15 minutes about a situation that's emotionally intense for you. You're not knowing how to deal with it and it's too much intense for you. So you just don't edit, don't put any filter and just let it flow. So when you write it, then you see that you are able to release the emotional tension and uncover underlying thoughts. It also have calming and relaxing effect on you. The second very popular exercise is the mood tracker. The instructions here are you have to track your mood 2 to 3 times in a day. Note what triggered it, your thoughts and how you felt physically. You can add on as much details as you want, like if you are feeling sad, you can make a sad face. If you are feeling very sad, you can add on 2 sad faces. If you are feeling very happy, you can make 1 or 2 smileys so that you can reflect what you are feeling. And also you have to write assigned thoughts and other emotional things which you are feeling in that particular time. So the goal of this particular mood tracker exercise is to develop emotional awareness and see patterns in your emotional state. So once I come to the creative writing, first I want to explain you in a very simple manner as its name sounds, creative writing. So what it is? Like you are writing a poem or you are writing a fictional novel. So you are creating something and while you are creating it, you are also assigning your own conflicts, your own desires, your own moods, your own emotions, your own problems on that fictional character. So you imagine that you are imagining a story in which the character is having similar kind of life troubles as you are. So what happens? This kind of practice gives you incredible clarity in your emotional regulation. So here comes the official definition of creative writing. Creative writing is expressive and imaginative writing. For example, poetry, fiction, novels, symbolic letters that explores feelings, thoughts and personal meanings. So it also helps in projecting your emotions onto characters. This form is especially helpful when emotions are too overwhelming or difficult to confront directly. There are few creative writing exercises which I am mentioning here and I am giving you few prompts. The one is write a letter from your anxiety to you, describe your fear as a room, and then you have to mention what is the ambience, how you felt when you enter the room, how it looks like, how's the feeling when you are inside the room, whether there is someone else in the room. So you can add on as much details as you want. You find a hidden door in your room, what's behind it? Then you have to use your imagination to know what's behind that particular wall, what's behind that particular door. Describe a perfect day, but make one strange thing happen. Now again you have to explore and you have to create. Somehow it is coming from your unconsciousness and it is reflecting your internal conflicts. Tell a story where your anxiety is a character and what happens. Now we are coming to the gratitude journaling. As your name shows, gratitude journaling. So you are telling what you are grateful in your life. So telling about the positive things in your life, but it is not as simple as it sounds. It's not only positive writing or positive thinking. It's more about you are training your mind what is working on in your life rather than only focusing on what is broken, what is not working. So your lens, your mental shift focus from the negativity to positivity. So it can start with a very basic writing. What happens in that day which make you felt good, happy about yourself. It can be big, it can be small also. You wanted a special dish and the same dish offered you in the mess. So you are grateful for that. It's very humid, it's very hot and suddenly it starts raining and you are feeling happy about it. It can be tangible, it can be non-tangible also. So now I'll explain you this. The practice of writing down things on experiences you are grateful for in your life, whether it is big or small, it shifts your mental lens from fear and stress to appreciation and connection. The more detailed and the more emotionally rich it is good for you. Over time, this reduces stress and increases happiness. Benefits of gratitude writing. It increases the secretion of positive neurotransmitters like dopamine, endorphins and serotonin. It also improves optimism and also help in resilience and sleep. It is also helpful in the symptoms of depression. So what happens when you continuously start thinking about negative thing, your mental set shifts from positive to negative. So you always think about what is going on negative in your life. When you start this practice, you gradually want to see what is happening good around you. Whether someone is giving you a genuine smile, whether someone praises you for your work, whether you got a very desired reaction from someone, it can be anything. There are few gratitude journaling exercises. I'm giving you the prompts. You can try. Today I'm grateful for, and then you have to fill the whole line. Second thing, you can write about someone who shaped your values. Write about a mistake you are grateful for. What is one simple thing you often take for granted? You can add as much as prompts if you want, but I'm giving you just an idea how it works. Now I am coming to the narrative journaling. So I am telling you about the narrative journaling. As its name sounds, narrative journaling means narration. Rather than just telling about the episode, you have to narrate it. You have to write it like a story. There should be a particular ending, there should be a middle part, and there should be a starting point. So all starting, middle part and ending should be there. If you are telling about your own story or someone else's story in the narrative journaling, you can add on as much as details as you like. There should be no filter on how you are writing it. There should be no filter on whether you are grammatically correct or not, but it should be more exploratory and more genuine in nature. So I'll tell you the official definition. It is writing about your life experiences in a story form. Instead of just listing events or feelings, you tell a story with a beginning, middle and end about something that happened to you. How it's different from regular journaling? I am giving you two examples. Regular journaling, I felt stressed today, but in the narrative journaling, today felt like a storm cloud followed me all day, starting with the spilled coffee and ending in a traffic jam. So now you can see that in the second option, while I was narrating thing, I had to add on the details. What happened exactly? What made me felt sad? Whether it is like someone scolded me, someone passed a very bad remark, or I suddenly went out and a car splashed water on me and my dress just became dirty. It can be that simple, but you have to add on narrations and details while you are using the narrative journaling. Narrative journaling exercises. So you have to tell a story of a day you will never forget. What happened and why does it still stay with you? Second prompt can be write about a moment when you felt really proud of yourself. What led up to it? Share the story of a friendship or relationship that changed over time. Tell the story of a small moment that turned out to be important later. How have you changed emotionally over the past month? So you can see that in narrative journaling, I am giving you these prompts and you have to narrate the whole story in a typical narration manner, right? So now I am telling you when and why particular writing style should be used. There are 4 writing styles which we discussed. The very first is journaling. It can be expressive journaling, free floating journaling, in which you don't give any prompt to yourself. You just focus on a particular trauma or particular thing which is going on in your mind and you write down about it. The second thing is creative journaling, creative writing. In that particular mode, you have to use your imagination, you have to use your fiction, and you have to make some characters like anxiety, like other things. So you make that character. So again, I am telling you about the second writing modality, that is narrative journaling. In narrative journaling, you have to narrate the incident. You have to add on details and you have to narrate it like a story, and you have to make a particular starting point, middle point and the ending point. And when you add on the points, you have to be narrative in nature. This particular writing modality is also very helpful when you want to go into the depth of the emotional clarity. And the last one is gratitude journaling. As its name shows, you have to tell how you are grateful for particular thing in your life and you mention it. So this is a summary table in which I am mentioning you how you have to use that particular style with a particular focus in your mind while you are doing it, and what is the format and duration of that particular style, and what are the core maximum benefits you will get by doing that particular writing exercise. So the first one is expressive writing. So while you are doing expressive writing, you should focus on the emotion, verbalization and trauma. It should be unfiltered and there should be no add-on filtering in the process. The second is format and duration. So you have to spend 15 to 20 minutes for next 3 to 4 days writing about the trauma, and the core benefits are it reduces any kind of illness symptoms, mental or physical. It also reduces your stress and it boosts the immunity system. Now come to the second one, which is narrative journaling. So the focus should be on structured storytelling of emotional events. The format and duration is you have to do it in a repeated manner in a particular structured sessions by giving useful prompts or whatever prompts I have discussed earlier. You have to use those prompts and you have to do it in the repeated structured manner. Now what are the core benefits? It regulates your emotional condition, emotional regulation, emotional verbalization, and it also helps in meaning making. The third one is gratitude journaling. So here you have to do the appreciation logging. You have to add on what you are appreciating in life. You make a log. Ideally you do it daily, but if it is too much overwhelming for you, then what you can do it? You can do it every alternate day, right? So adding weekly 3 to 5 items is more than sufficient. It boosts your mood, it increases the optimism, and it also helps in sleep and resilience. What is creative writing and how it helps? So the focus should be on crafting characters, stories to express meaning. It is a free writing, poetry or fictionalization, and it enhances empathy, confidence and self-awareness. So you got the idea of all 4 writing modalities in this particular summary. You have to choose very wisely what you have to work on, which kind of style and when, because sometimes it can be too much overwhelming for you when you are writing about a particular trauma. So that time you have to use some guidelines which I am telling you further. There are guidelines for safe writing and one is from Kathleen Adams. He has given these guidelines. He told you have to start with a very basic, very general and very superficial topics. You don't have to go directly to a very emotional provoking things because it can be too intense for you. So I am telling you about the Adams structure one by one. He has given us 4 kind of guidelines which can be helpful for safe writing. Surface level writing, description of neutral topics. For example, routines, about weather, about general events. And the second is exploratory writing. You have to start reflecting about and ask very simple question to you. Why this happened, why I'm feeling like this, why that person acted in that particular manner. So you are just going to the second step of the ladder, and then the third one is expressive emotional writing. You are diving into the emotions and meaningful events and you are talking about those in an open manner. It means you are diving into the deep water. So you are diving into the emotional pool and you are founding things which are hurting you or which are somehow emotionally affecting you. The fourth thing is free reflective writing, open-ended reflection, integration, synthesis, and the fifth one is integration and closure. Look back, you have to summarize and you have to take steps after getting the emotional clarity, after getting the insight, you have to take necessary steps. I am giving you a very real example, like you see that your stress level spikes whenever your exams are approaching. But then you realize after writing that this stress spike is not because of exams, but it is because of your procrastination and because of the social pressure which you are dealing with that particular time. So it gives you emotional clarity and it also gives you insight what is happening with you so that you can take necessary behavioral actions in the future. Fine. There are few add-on tips. Whenever you are doing these writing styles, you have to use the Adler's safeguarding guidelines in your mind, but also you can have some add-on tips which can help you. The very first thing is that while you are doing the writing, you can also involve relaxation techniques and grounding techniques while you are doing it. You can do the slow and deep breathing. You can do simple grounding exercises, you can do anulom vilom, you can also focus on the relaxation things, you can do simple walking, mindfulness based exercises. What happens? This eases down the whole process. When you do it and you combine it with writing, then your focus becomes very calm and then You do it in a very easeful manner. You are becoming more genuine. You're not focusing. Your locus of control should not be on you. It should be on writing. It should be on pouring thoughts. It is somehow, the mind's system of telling, of revealing what is happening, ventilation of your emotions. So what happens? Sometimes the conflict is too much. We are going through some internal confusions and we are not sure whom to discuss, where to discuss, whether the other person will judge us or not, whether things will be confidential or not, whether I am able to express it in a right manner or not, whether the other person will have a proper solution for that or not, whether it will make the other person sad, unhappy, or vulnerable. So we just inhibit from expressing these things. But this emotional suppression comes with cost. This cost can be physical and this cost can be psychological as well. Sometimes it manifests in different kind of depression, anxiety, other mood disorders, and sometimes it manifests into physical illness as well. So it's better to ventilate your feelings, and writing provides you a space where you are safe and there is no one who is judging you, and you can do it in an unedited and unfiltered manner. So you have to keep these guidelines in your mind. You also have to understand which writing style is particularly helpful in that particular emotional problem. And then you have to make a list of and a customized box from which you can choose, pick writing activity. You can pick one and you can work on it. You also have to monitor emotional responses, pause or support whenever it is required. You don't have to do it continuously. If you are thinking that your emotional responses are going into a different direction, you are derailing, you please pause and then you can ask for support if it is required. Also, you can stop it if intense distress occurs and follow up with professional support. Sometimes when you are telling about your trauma, which is very traumatic for you, it also releases intense kind of emotions. Suddenly they rushed up to the surface, and with no professional support, sometimes you feel like you are becoming vulnerable while you are writing it. So for that time, you have to stop it. You have to take a pause. Just start focus on the relaxing exercises. You can inculcate few grounding exercises and take a pause. Just stop it and again start it when you are feeling in a right mood. There is no obligation that if you are starting it, you have to finish it in a go. You have to practice it daily. The very important point to be taken care of is you don't have to judge yourself while you are doing it. This should come very naturally. It's a very natural process. You don't have to think about how you are writing, whether your writing is good or not, whether you are grammatically correct or not. No. Your focus should be on exploration and more genuineness. So now I am telling you, writing may lead to some actionable insight, right? So you have to focus on writing not just for the emotional ventilation, but sometimes if you are feeling that you are clueless in life and you are not able to understand what is going on. So that time what you can do is you just focus on free float writing. So I have seen this pattern myself. Whenever I am in a low mood and I start with it, so sometimes I start with all the problems, but at the end of writing, it somehow comes to get some solutions, what you will do. And this happens automatically. You just have to focus on the flow and you just keep writing. So this helps you. Also, there are a few things which I want to tell you. Writing is a process which is having a very strong and very significant effect on your emotional regulation. Now you will ask how it can happen. So I am telling you, while you are writing, you are involving your tactile sensory modalities and you are also associating it with particular brain regions which are connected with particular emotions. Like if you are writing about a sad life part, sad story of your life, so you are writing it, it means you are involving your tactile sensory modality and side by side you are also involving your brains, that particular association area, that memory area which is associated. In that connection, what is happening? You are doing it, and by doing it you are making a connection of both activities and you are somehow reliving that thing. By reliving, you are living that particular sad event and also you are distancing yourself from that emotional pain because you are doing it on a pen and paper. There are particular apps also who help you in journaling, so you can see if that works, but I would prefer you to write on pen and paper because this usually have good implications. I also request you to go through proper references which I have given you in that particular presentation, because this can give you a better understanding of the topic. So these are the references. You can go through them. They are from particular journals where you can read about the evidences which are helpful in that way. And then thank you.